Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and in this session for vocabulary I am back with a set of new words for you guys right here. So I hope you guys have been working on your vocabulary with the previous sessions of the editorial vocab that we do with you. If not, you guys can subscribe to the channel for the set of words that we discuss with you guys daily. Let's begin with today's article, and the article heads as Uncivil Proposal on Laws to Curb Love Jihad. So when I talk about saying to curb, now you can see clearly that after to we have used, or the writer must have used, first form of verb, which is one such I would say rule that applies in grammar, which is termed as an infinitive, and there are various properties attached to it. Alongside, there are errors based on this particular property. Curb means to suppress, to control, to take charge. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Love jihad. Court verdicts in unrelated cases shouldn't be a ruse to curb a personal freedom to marry. Now they say that the court verdicts, okay, that is the decision, okay, to make a decision in unrelated cases shouldn't be a ruse to curb personal freedom to marry. This word that has been used here, ruse, is a noun, all right, and this word, what does this mean? It says be a ruse. Now you can easily identify it's a noun because there has been use of a, which is an article, which means this word means a trick. It is an act like by someone. There can be a person who plays different tactics, so you can say a trick or a tactic, all right, that is being played by a person. That is the ruse. So it shouldn't be a ruse, it shouldn't be a trick. Hindi mein, if you want, you can term it as chalbazi. All right, so it should not be a trick that we're trying to control personal freedom to marry. We're not saying that you cannot marry as per your own choice, okay, but this comes in unrelated cases. The court's verdict is in unrelated cases. It should not make relation to every particular case or the common cases around. Moving ahead, it also states the astounding proposal by Uttar Pradesh and Haryana to enact a law to curb what they call love jihad reeks of a vicious mix of patriarchy and communalism. Now, what does this complete sentence describe? It says the astounding proposal. Astounding is an adjective which is qualifying noun, that is proposal. Astounding means something that is shocking, that is surprising, alright, that is astounding, जो कि आपको चौंकाने वाला होता है, कोई चीज़ जो चौंकाने वाली होती है, that is astounding. So it was an astounding proposal which came from Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, and they have decided to enact a law, to implement a law that would definitely control this love jihad thing. And this particular event or incident which has come from Uttar Pradesh and Haryana government, or you can say the states, it reeks of, reek, this is a verb used, it means to indicate something unpleasant. If something bad or negative is about to come, okay, so indication to that is termed to reek, okay, that's a verb, that's an action word, like we say prophecy or foretell, okay, so that is, or foresee, that is again a verb. Now, similarly, reek is a verb, and this gives you a hint or a signal of a vicious mix. Vicious again is an adjective, and as I have always told you that any word that ends on ous is always an adjective. I'm going to wipe off the screen and explain you further. So vicious has been used here, which is an adjective, and it means something that is extremely violent or harsh, okay. Something कहते हैं एक the point in Hindi we say that is insensitive, so we can say nirday, और बहुत intense या कठोर. Okay. So vicious mix of patriarchy and communalism. So there is patriarchy, there is you can say domination, and then there is communalism in terms of communities. Okay, propounded by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, the detestable idea. Why is this idea termed to be detestable? Detestable is an adjective which means something that is worthy or that is definitely to be disliked. Something that is disliked. It is by nature such that you will never like it, or that will be disliked by most of the people, a majority of the people. So it is a detestable idea by Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, because it was propounded by him, which means it was it came up from his mind. It was his idea. It amounts to legitimizing a term that constitutes a blatant slur against interfaith marriages and relationships in which one of the parties is a Muslim man. Guys, blatant is a beautiful word. Blatant is used a lot because nowadays, instead of saying clear, okay, or instead of saying evident, now this word will also in the past 2 to 5 years span, if I see, and if I tell you, evident was a word that was used a lot, but now this word has been replaced by blatant, because it's same. Blatant also means clear and straight, okay, without any hesitation, clear and straight. That's blatant. So it was it turned out to be a blatant slur. Okay, now slur, it is a noun which means a process that mitigates something to happen, that lessens. Mitigate is another word, but I won't use it here, so I would just tell you that mitigate or means to decrease or to lessen something, to reduce something. So slur is the process that lessens the impact of something. Lessens the impact of something. So here what is happening, if you legalize, or when this is legitimized, this idea that is being shared by the minister, what would it constitute? It would constitute a process that would definitely minimize or mitigate the impact of other things around. So it might also mitigate, they are worried that if we talk about interfaith or intercaste marriages, then will they not be allowed? So people are worried about that also. So that's a blatant slur that people have. Now, the ostensible reason. Now, ostensible is an adjective which means that seems to be true. That seems to be true. Now, it is not necessary that it will definitely be true, but it's something that seems to be true without any proof. Okay, like we say in a prima facie, that is on the face of it. So that would be ostensible. Okay, in Hindi, if you want, you can say जैसे दिखाई पड़ता है या जैसे समझ आ रहा है, because you don't have any proof for that. So the ostensible reason for bringing in such a law seems to be that the honor of Hindu women is under threat from zealous Muslim youth. Zealous, full of zeal, like enthusiasm or energy. Okay, so it is adjective. Zealous is an adjective. Muslim youth seeking to win over girls from other communities for religious conversion in the name of love and marriage. So this is one point or one thing that people are worried about, because if the purpose behind these intercaste marriages is just is mere conversion, okay, the religious conversion, if we talk about, that is why it has been termed as love jihad. So moving ahead, if we talk about, the writer says the flaws in the concept are quite obvious. There is no legal sanction to self-serving and political terms such as love jihad. There is no legal sanction. It has not been approved by the court, but it's just a term used. And there can be no legislation based on an extra legal concept. In any case, legislative intervention in marriages involving consenting adults will be clearly unconstitutional. So if there is intervention, if there is interference in marriages, that is consent that is made or done with the consent of adults. Consent is a noun Here it has been used as a verb. It says involving consenting adults. That means making agreement. Alright. Sehmati se. So if people are doing through their own willingness, then how can you make it as, or how can you term it to be love jihad? So this will turn out to be utterly unconstitutional. The domain of matrimony is occupied by separate laws governing weddings that take place under religious traditions, as well as the Special Marriage Act, which enables a secular marriage, including between couples from different faiths. Alright, so there's a Special Marriage Act which includes secular marriage and other things. Okay, intercaste marriages also, so it deals with that. Mr. Adityanath, who has also threatened those allegedly operating in secret. Allegedly, that is, it is an adverb used here. Why? Because it is qualifying the verb operating. Allegedly is like to be thought of or to be stated of. Now, what does this mean? It means something that is talked about or something that is stated about. Again, it is more or less similar to the word that we just did, that is ostensible, okay, which means something that is just stated without proof. So you can say kathit taur par, like something that's just verbal, there's no proof, written proof to it. So allegedly operating in secret by concealing their identities, that is hiding their identities. And his Haryana counterpart Manohar Lal seemed to be making the same mistakes, using the term love jihad in a communal sense. Communal is used here as an adjective, which means referring to particular communities or communities bound. Okay, किसी पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी से संबंधित अगर आप बात कर रहे हैं और लव जिहाद टर्म यूज़ कर रहे हैं, सो इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग इट इन अ कम्युनल सेंस, देन दिस इज़ अ बिग मिस्टेक दैट दिस मैन इज़ मेकिंग. And speaking about marriages as if they were not a matter of personal choice. So this is something that's definitely a matter of personal choice, and people can get married with their choice, right? So now here what is happening is there are two parts to it. If you see, there are two sides. Okay, one, that they're trying to save the nation, probably if there is some sort of ruse by the Muslim community. Secondly, probably this is again a political agenda or maybe something else. Moving ahead, the writer says they would do well to remember that earlier this year, the Union Home Ministry made it clear that the term is not defined in law. While replying to a parliamentary question, now we all know there's a question asked, so in that maybe a parliamentary question was being put forward, and it was clearly answered that there's no such term that has been defined by the law, so probably this is not legitimate. Investigation into marriages that purportedly raise such a suspicion, that is a doubt, also failed to find any substance in the allegation. So there was no weightage given to this, all right, and things were suppressed then and there. But if you see right here, it says it raised such a suspicion that whether it exists or not, or whether there's any substance to it or not. The immediate context for these leaders to go out on a limb. Out on a limb is an idiom which means to be isolated. To be isolated, or to be apart from a particular group. Like there is a group, if I quote here, there's a group, there are 20 people in this group, and you don't wish to be apart, you're standing all by yourself, alone. So you decided to be out of the limb. Okay, you decided to stay alone, you decided to be isolated. So for these reasons, these leaders went out of the limb, they isolated themselves about curbing interfaith marriages. The recent Allahabad High Court judgment that frowned upon religious conversion solely for the purpose of marriage, and the horrible murder of a 20-year-old woman in Faridabad by a stalker who happened to be a Muslim. Now this could be a coincidence as well, but there are two examples quoted right here Why they are terming it to be love jihad? So the reasons that were given were these. One such incident from the Allahabad and the other from Faridabad. So if you see, there was involvement of people from this particular community, and these examples or these incidents were stated as an example of coming up with a defined law for this. By no stretch of imagination can the murder be used to denounce consensual interfaith relationships. Definitely, we here, if you see, denounce and consensual. Denounce is a verb, consensual is an adjective. Alright. Consensual interfaith marriages, that involves consent. Consensual is that involves consent, जिसमें की सहमति मौजूद होती है, आपसी सहमति होती है. So you cannot use this murder incident or the other incident to denounce, to state that these to look down upon or to reject or to completely evict, I would say, evict these interfaith or intercaste marriages. Regarding the court verdict, the High Court had declined to intervene on a writ petition seeking police protection for a recently married couple, noting that the bride had converted from Islam to Hinduism solely for the purpose of a marriage. So recently what happened is High Court had declined or denied that it would not interfere, alright, and this was for a particular case, one such case wherein there was police protection asked for a married couple, which probably the girl happened to be Hindu and she converted her religion to Muslim or Islam. So there was police protection asked for, and there was a petition filed against her, and High Court denied to interfere or to intervene or to be allegedly a part of this particular case, when the person or the girl vouches that she did just for the purpose of marriage. Moving ahead, it had found such an expedient conversion unacceptable. Expedient, fast or immediate or quick conversion unacceptable. So people find it unacceptable, citing a similar 2014 verdict in which the court had questioned the bona fide of conversions without change of heart or any convictions in the tenets of the new religion. Now what is happening is, probably people have started questioning courts that why do they give such a fast decision of the conversion of religion. Okay, so they said that this was expedient conversion and this is not acceptable. This another comparison has been made to the 2014 incident that took place, and wherein in 2014 the court had questioned the bona fide. Bona fide is like the genuine or the real. That is the, this is used here as a noun, bona fide. It is sometimes, I would say, like the better pronunciation is bona fide, but you might hear people pronouncing it as bona fide, which is sometimes strange, but it's fine if people do that. So I had questioned the bona fides of conversions. So people who were there to convert the religion, the court questioned them, and this time it didn't happen. It was quick, it was immediate. That's why probably it is unacceptable. And there are changes in the tenets of new religion. Tenet, it means the principle. Tenet is noun, which means principle. Belief, okay, you can say there's change in that. Although the court strayed from the issue at hand, it strayed from, that means it stayed away, did not participate in this. Its objective was to underscore that conversion should not become a device. Underscore, emphasize. Underscore means to emphasize something. किसी चीज पर जोर डालना. It is indeed salutary as a principle that interfaith couples retain their religious beliefs separately and opt for marriage under the Special Marriage Act. So it would be better if you opt for a marriage under Special Marriage Act, wherein you would retain your religious beliefs and principles. However, this principle cannot be used to derogate from personal choice or become a ruse to interfere in the individual freedom to forge matrimonial alliances. So this is no matrimonial alliance, the Special Marriage Act. It is there for such people who wish to have interfaith or intercaste like relationship or marriages. So this should not be used to derogate, that is to disparage or disrespect the personal choice of people. Ninda karna ya neecha dikhana. Alright? It should not be used for that purpose. It's way different. So this is what the crux is, this is what the summary is right here, and this is what the writer wishes to inform us. So here the article ends, and these were the list of the words that we had to do. If you wish to have future reference with the list of words, it is right there on our site. You just have to go in the link given in the description section, and you can have the entire list of the words with synonyms, antonyms and example sentences for you to help you out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do it right away to have regular sessions with us, and do not forget to like and share the video. I shall see you soon. Thank you so much.